Hi, welcome to today's math lesson. We'll be ordering decimals up to 3 decimal places. So the aim of today's lesson is to learn how to order decimals up to 3 decimal places. There are a few vocabulary I want you to take note of. First is the term itself, decimal. It's a symbol like a dot used to separate the integer part from the fractional part. Now, a decimal place is the position of a digit to the right of a decimal point. For instance, this is 1 decimal place. This is 2 decimal places. This is 3 decimal places. Now, ordering is just putting them in order. And when you talk about ascending, is putting them from smallest to biggest, and descending is from biggest to smallest. There are 3 success criteria that you can use to order decimal numbers. First, that you can sketch a place value chart. Second, that you can also write the decimals in the place value chart, filling empty spaces with zeros. And third, that you can even order from the smallest to the biggest or vice versa. So how do we go about ordering these numbers in ascending order? We have 3.01, 13.01, 0.31, 1.30, and 3.1. So our steps are, first, we can sketch the place value chart. So if you look at this, this is the units, the tens, and the hundreds. And to the right of the decimal point, we have the tenth, the hundredth, and the thousands. So if I write these numbers inside, this is how it is written, 3.01. And you can see all the decimals are lined up. That is the reference point. And 13.01 is written here. 0.31 is written there. 1.30. And here, the last one, 3.1, which is this one. Now you can see I have just put a 0 here, which is a placeholder, because all of them are 2 place decimals. Right, now we can compare. If I look at the place value chart with the numbers inside, remember I'm ordering in ascending order, so I'm starting from the smallest. Obviously, this is a 10, so it will be the biggest. So that will be the last one. But if you come to the units column, all of them start with, not all of them, there's a 3, a 3, a 0, a 1, and a 3. So obviously, this is the smallest. So I will write that down here, and I also know the biggest one. Now, can I still work out from the units column which is the next smallest? Yes, because this is a 0 and this is a 1. So that's my next smallest. So that's the second one. This was my first one. And now it's left with this and that. Okay, now I cannot tell which is bigger from the units column. So I have to go to the 10th column. Now there is a 1 here and there is a 0 here. So obviously this is the next smallest. So that's the third one. And my fourth one, therefore, is this one. And the biggest one is that. So you can see how I've written them here. And I can then write them in ascending order. 0.31, 1.30, 3.01, 3.10, and 13.01. Now I have a second group of decimals to order. So you have 4.35, 4.5, 4.03, and 4.53. Now first again is to sketch the place value chart and write the numbers inside. So you can see my first step is to sketch the place value chart and then write the decimals in it with my decimal point as my reference point. Okay, you can see they are all in the same column. I fill in any spaces that are left. Now this number here, this one, you can see it's one place decimal. So when I write it in, because all the numbers are two place decimals, I just put a 0 here as a placeholder. Now I can compare. It says ascending order. That means from the smallest to the biggest. Now if I start from the units column, all of the units are 4. So I cannot order just based on the unit column. So I have to go to the 10th column. And in the 10th column, I can see this one has a 1. A 0. So that's the smallest. That's my first one. And this is a 5 and a 5. The next smallest is the one with the 3. So that's my second one. Now I cannot compare this one and the bottom one from the 10th, so I have to come to the 100th. And if I come to the 100th, this is a 3 and this is a 0. So obviously this is the third one. So the biggest one is this one. So I now can write them there in ascending order. What I want you to do is to pause the video and go and order these decimals. We'll look at the answers in the next slide. How did you do? Again, given these decimals are 0.136, 0.5, 0.36, 0.09. Now with my place value chart, I'm going to write them in. So if I write my first one here, I can see the decimal points all lined up. I fill in the empty spaces with zeros because this is a 3 decimal place. So I'm making all of them 3 decimal place, filling the rest here with zeros. Now I can compare. This time is descending order. That means from biggest to smallest. Now, because there are no values here, I have to come to the 10th to find the biggest. So this is a 0, that's a 3, that's a 5. So this is the biggest one. So I'm going to start with this as my first one. Now after the 5, this is a 3. So that should be my second one. And my third one is a 1. So this is the smallest. So that's it in descending order. So what I now want you to do is to pause the video here and go and do the work. The S1 is for mild, S2 is for medium, and S3 is for hot. Please do not look at the answers first. Do the work and then look at the answers. Now, I want you to call a guardian or a sibling. Look at some of the work that you've done, the ones that you are confident in, that you got them right. Show a guardian or a sibling how you did it. Just as a reflection. Now, were you able to sketch place value charts? Were you also able to write the decimals in the place value chart, fill in empty spaces with zeros? Were you even able to order from smallest to biggest or vice versa? If you were able to do all of those things, then well done, you can order decimals.